Hey, Tone of Life family, it's Dr. Dan hanging out outside here in some park in Columbus. I don't really know exactly where I am, but it's beautiful out here and it smells great. Anyhow, I was reading a book yesterday or the other day by Dr. David Hawkins called Power versus Force. A very interesting book, and one thing he mentioned is that we like to think as humans that our decisions are based on good rational thought, well thought out decisions, right? Or that they're based on our emotional drive. And he says that neither of those things are true, that in reality, the decisions we make in life are primarily based on patterns, or the patterning that we have established in our life and in our bodies. And I'll tell you a little bit about what he means as I talk about what I think that means to me and why I think that's so interesting. A lot of times, you know, we have trouble making changes in our lives, making decisions that we know are for our best outcome, our best potential, and we try, and oftentimes it's hard to make a shift, make a change in our lives. For instance, if you've ever tried to quit eating sugar, maybe you succeeded on the first try, but for the rest of us, it can be quite difficult, and a moment of weakness is all it takes to go indulge in the ice cream or the cookies or the chocolate or whatever else it is that is your poison, so to speak. And you know, just the simple decision or the simple desire to change that habit is oftentimes not enough. And the reason for that is something that runs very deep in our physiology and in our mental field and in our emotions as well. And that is the patterning that gets created down into a cellular level that kind of determines how we function and make decisions on a daily basis. So we have, as you are aware, we have thought patterns, we have movement patterns, sometimes we have behavioral patterns that we are or are not aware of, and there's other patterns too. There's patterns in how our cells function and divide and replicate. There's patterns in how our DNA expresses. We have emotional patterns, we have relationship patterns, we have patterns in all areas of our lives that more or less are dictating the way we respond to certain stimuli or certain decision opportunities. And oftentimes we like to think that we are making well thought out decisions, or that we're making decisions based on the emotions that we want to feel more of or that we like. And then lo and behold, we tend to get overridden time and time again. And going back to that sugar example, so again, you want to quit sugar, and so you say, I'm not going to eat sugar anymore. This is the last donut that I'm going to have this week. And again, in a moment of weakness is all it takes, and you find a donut in your hand and you're chewing on it and you wonder what happened. And the issue with that donut example is that, again, your body is kind of running on an established pattern that has been dictating for some time how you react when you're in front of dessert or sugar. And in this circumstance, in order to really change that habit, doing something more like eliminating sugar from your entire house and then making the resolution is probably going to have a bigger impact on your decision not to eat sugar. Because in a moment of weakness, if there's nothing to reach for in your immediate vicinity, you're less likely to get in the car and drive to go get yourself something to eat, some sweets, versus just reaching into your cupboard and pulling it out. So in that circumstance, we've made the decision to change. We've also created and cultivated the environment to allow for that change to take place. And that's really what I want to get at here, is that the patterning in our lives, the behavioral, the movement, the cellular, whatever patterning it is that we're talking about, can be very strong and can kind of override our decisions on a regular basis. But by creating or cultivating an environment externally and internally to support the decisions we want to make is a way stronger way to shift patterns toward ones that we desire more strongly for ourselves. And it's no secret that most of us would desire more positive emotions, a better mental state, better thought patterns, a healthier life pattern, right? So a healthier body, a healthier way of feeling, of living, of moving. And we want those things for ourselves, but it doesn't always just happen on a thought alone. Instead, cultivating the environment internally and externally to allow for those shifts to happen is what's going to allow us to experience those shifts in the patterning in our lives. For instance, that's why at Tone of Life we work with the nervous system, which is the master control system of the body, because if we work to help bring balance and connection and communication and awareness within the nervous system and its relationship to the body, and help to free up interference between the nervous system, all of its pathways to all the cells and the systems that make our body function properly, on a regular basis, we see people heal from all manner of things. And again, if you listen to any of my videos, you know that I'm talking about physical, mental, and emotional healing. So on all levels, by establishing a coherent or a healthy nervous system free of interference, the body actually wants to shift towards health. Just like we want to shift towards more positive emotions, better thoughts, better relationships. So when it comes down to making decisions in our lives to change towards better, whatever it is you want, a better state in life, that ideally you want that to come along with a cultivation of the right environment, internally and externally, to allow for that shift to occur. So ask yourself, next time you realize that you're not making the change you want to make in your life in a particular moment, ask yourself, what can I do to shift the internal, what's going on in your body, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your relationships? We can even call it internal, intrapersonal, and external, in the environment around you, in the space you live, and where you go, and who you talk to, what you read, what you fill your mind with. So you can shift the environment within and without you, and then see, in response to that, if the decision to make positive changes in life comes more easily. And if you really want to see how far you can take it, find out what it's like to make those shifts with a healthy, well-functioning nervous system by getting regularly checked and adjusted, taken care of by a trusted chiropractor. And for those of you who are in Northeast Ohio, Tone of Life, once again, is open and running, and we would love to have you in to chat about whether or not what you're looking for in life is the right fit, and whether Tone of Life is the right fit for you. Because I guarantee you, if you start to create that shift within your body, then you will see that making changes in your lives comes way more easily. It's not about how well thought out your decision to improve is. It's about what you do with the environment within you and around you to cultivate the appropriate space to allow that shift to happen. You want to be healthy, your body wants to be healthy, make the space and it will happen. Take care.